Remote friends, it's Mrs. Chandler and I am back for our next lesson. We are actually going to change it up a little bit from our social thinking. This is still definitely a way to show your social smarts, but next week is Random Acts of Kindness Week, or this week if you're watching it during the week of. So this is Random Acts of Kindness Week, and this is a week where we just try a little bit extra hard to really focus on spreading kindness. But really spreading kindness is something that we should be trying to do every single day. Because when we spread kindness to someone, then hopefully someone goes and spreads it to someone else. And then they spread it to someone else, and then it keeps growing and growing and growing. And then when we're at home and at school and in our community, it's a much happier place to be. So we should really be working to spread kindness every single day. But the week of Random Acts of Kindness Week, we try a little bit harder to do something nice for people, to bring joy and happiness to people. So like I said, we're going to change it up and we're going to read a book today. So we are going to read a book. I don't know if you guys have seen these books, but they're by Jory John, and this one is called The Cool Bean. There's also The Good Egg, The Bad Seed. I think there might be a couple other ones. But these books are great to add to your library if you're looking for new books. They always have a really nice message and a good story, and are just fun to read too. So I know I've read this lots and lots of times, and it's just always a really good book. So we are going to read The Cool Bean by Jory John, and then I'll have a little activity for you afterward. Okay, here we go. Okay, friends, so like I said, this book is called The Cool Bean, and it is by Jory John and Pete Oswald. So here we go. Make sure you guys can see this okay. The Cool Bean. Watch out! Here come the cool beans. The cool beans. Oh yeah, check out how they move. Look at the way they swagger. Notice their sunglasses. Yow! The cool beans are known all over school, from house to house, across town, and beyond county lines. So the cool beans are known by a lot of people. In the olden days, last year, we were all in one big pot of beans. We were a mixed bag, but somehow it worked. Yep, those were the good old days. They were a mixed bag. They were all different. And then we stopped seeing each other as much. That's just how it is sometimes. You spend less time together, even though you're not totally sure why. I watched as the beans I knew so well, the beans from my own pod, became the cool beans. Oh, they were so cool. One of them could play the guitar. Cool. One of them could draw the best superheroes. Cool. One of them could jump higher than any bean I'd ever known. Cool. Me? Well, I mostly stayed the same. Sure, I made some small changes. I wore sunglasses. I slicked my hair back. And I strutted around. And I swaggered. So it looks like he was doing things to try and be like someone else, and he wasn't really being true to himself. I was still picked last for everything. My clothes never seemed to fit. I snorted when I laughed. I walked into stuff. I was an uncool bean for sure. I started thinking of myself as just a common bean with no special skills. I couldn't compete, so I didn't even try. I'd never be a cool bean. He was not feeling very good about himself. It seemed like there were just two types of beans in the world. There were the cool beans, and then there were the beans like me. So if you look, these cool beans are over here hanging out. This guy's over here. Try and think about what feelings he might be feeling. I think an easy one to assume is that he's feeling sad, but if we're really digging into our feeling words, he's probably feeling lonely, maybe disappointed in his friends, maybe a little bit frustrated. Maybe he's feeling left out, but definitely some uncomfortable feelings there. The days all blended together. I lived my life, and things were just okay. I took tests and ate lunches and mostly kept to myself. The cool beans continued being cool. I mean, sure, I missed them a bit, but it's not like I was going to say anything. I felt like all that coolness had gotten in the way of our friendship. And that's how it went until one day. I was in the cafeteria. I dropped my lunch on my loafers. Loafers are just like a pair of shoes. But then something sort of miraculous happened. Out of nowhere, one of the cool beans helped me clean it up. He didn't even say anything. He just gave me a nod, and that was it. Later, I was out on the playground. I tripped and scraped my knee and maybe cried a little bit, and everybody saw it. Another one of the cool beans came to my side, and without a word, he dusted me off. That afternoon, I was sitting in class. I wasn't really paying attention. I didn't notice, but our teacher had called on me. Everybody stared. I sat there in silence. Nobody said anything. And then, everybody just laughed at me. That was it. After today, I was officially a has-been. But then, one of the cool beans stood up and came over to me. Everybody watched. She leaned in close and whispered, "Hey, the teacher asked you to read from page 32. Then she gave me a quick wink and went back to her seat. So she didn't yell across the room and say, "Hey, dude, it's your turn to answer the question." She didn't embarrass him, but she just helped him quietly, and he was able to hopefully answer the question. It was a small gesture, sure, but it was also everything. So something as little as just helping him with the directions, and he thought that was awesome. That felt really big to him. So he walked home with a goofy smile on his face. I smiled all the way through dinner, and that day made all the difference. It was a day that could have been really bad, if not for the kindness of a few cool beans. It gave me a shred of confidence. That shred of confidence has continued to grow. Think about what confidence means. It means when you feel really good about yourself, you're proud of who you are. So that day, because someone else spread kindness to him, he went home feeling really happy and feeling confident, and that's what we want everyone to feel. Somebody had my back, or a few somebodies. After that, I started hanging out with the cool beans again. Not all the time, but sometimes. At lunch, after school, even on the weekends. Throughout all of this, I realized that it's not about how you look or any of that other silly stuff. It's about a wink or a nod or a smile at just the right moment. It's about dusting somebody off, helping them up again, and pointing them in the right direction. He says, "You need a hand?" to this little guy right here. And he says, "Yes, please." So because someone spread kindness to him, he then went and spread kindness to this guy. And then hopefully he's going to do the same thing. So then the cool beans see him do that, and they all think, now that is cool. The end. Okay, friends, so I hope you guys enjoyed that book. Like I said, it's probably one of my favorite books. I think it has a great message. What I like about is at the beginning, they talked a lot about the way that the cool beans look. So the way that they wear their sunglasses, the way that they walk, the way that they kind of have some style, right? They also talked about the good things that they can do. So how they can draw superheroes, how they can jump really high. So at the beginning of the book, that's kind of what we think cool means. That's why they're the cool beans. But then by the time we get to the end of the story, we realize that that stuff doesn't really even matter. And that what really matters is being kind. And that's what cool means. So as you guys get older, especially in like 3rd and 4th and 5th and 6th grade, you'll notice that a lot of people will think that being popular and looking cool is what it means to be cool. But really, it's about how we treat others and spreading kindness to others, because we're making the world a better place when we do that. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this book. I have a little challenge for you. In our classes here at school, we challenged our students to find creative ways to spread kindness in different locations, okay? So some different locations might be at home or maybe at school. I know you guys are not at school, but eventually you'll come back to school and you guys can have some creative ways of showing kindness at school. So there's home, school, you could think of like recess or even a playground or a park. You could think about the cafeteria here at school, or just maybe at a restaurant or something at home. And then maybe think about your community, okay? So community, that just means here within Loveland. So think about when you're out in Loveland or even just in your neighborhood. So maybe it's going to a restaurant or to a store or to a park or playground or out in the neighborhood with neighbors and friends, okay? So I want you guys to maybe pick those different areas, and here's what you can do. You can either write a sentence for each one of a creative way to spread kindness in those areas, or you can draw a nice detailed picture, okay? And I'll leave the areas on a little screen after this so you guys can remember, but I want you to think really creatively about ways that you can spread kindness. And I want you to think about like the different people in these places. So at home, some examples might be your siblings and your parents, or your grown-up at home, your pets, your house itself. We can spread our kindness to our house just by taking care of the things there, okay? Or maybe if it's at the playground, like think about the people at the playground. Or maybe when we're back at school and we have recess monitors and custodians and lunch ladies. How are we gonna spread kindness to all these different types of people? Okay, that's my challenge to you. So I'll leave a little screen with the 5 different places. And like I said, either write maybe some different ideas, or you can draw pictures of different ideas, but I want you to think really creatively and I want you to be specific, okay? So rather than just saying be nice to a new friend or a new student, really think about what you're gonna do to be nice. So is it gonna be showing someone their cubby, or asking them if they want to play with you, okay? Examples for like in the community would be picking up trash, or walking a neighbor's dog, or maybe baking treats for someone, okay? So I'm challenging you to come up with ideas for different places and be specific and creative. I have loved getting to see kids' ideas here at school, and I would love to see your ideas as well. I think it's always helpful to see other people's ideas, and then that way I can spread those ways of kindness too. So if you want to share those with me, you can share with your teacher, and then they can share with me. So I hope you guys enjoyed our story today, and then I hope you guys are able to come up with some creative ways to spread kindness. And then we can continue that pattern of spreading kindness to someone, and then there will be lots of kindness everywhere, and this will be a much happier place to be, okay? And we all want to go to school in a happy place and live in a happy place, and that is up to us to do that. So, all right, as always, we are very proud of you guys, and I hope to see you soon. Bye.